Welcome to Sib Spot. Today's featured Reddit stories are from Malicious Compliance. Story 1 today is by Diamond Dust 1. You're only here to count. Hi everyone. I wanted to share a story from my job. I work at a place where we pack fruit. There are about 20 robots that fill boxes with fruit, and there's one position in charge of checking that each robot puts the correct amount of fruit in each box. To explain it a bit more, we basically have to check all day that the robots are doing a good job, making sure each box has the right amount of fruit and keeping track of which robot packed it. Obviously, since it's heavy machinery, sometimes the robots damage the fruit. So when I'm checking a box, it's possible to find fruit that's been cut in half or otherwise damaged. When I first started, I was assigned to that checking position. It's pretty simple. Count the fruit in each box and return it to the export line. But whenever I found damaged fruit, I used to write it down in a section of the control log called comments, noting how many damaged ones I found. I also started reporting it to a woman from the quality team. She didn't like that. She kept telling me that it wasn't my job, which is technically true, but I thought it was important to say something when the damage was a lot. One day, all the robots started sending out fruit that was cut into multiple pieces. No idea how. So I went to report it again, and this woman confronted me and said, "Your job is only to count. Count, 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 and count. That's it." She said it in a very rude tone and sent me back to the station. Of course, I thought, she's totally right. So instead of getting upset whenever I found damaged fruit, I just counted it like a normal one, closed the box and sent it to the export line. That's how I spent the whole day, just counting, nothing else. Until the export inspection team noticed there was a lot of damaged fruit already packed and ready to go. The quality managers came to talk to me and asked why I hadn't reported it. I just pointed to the woman and said, "She told me my job was only to count, count, and count. So that's all I did." And I shrugged. She started giving me hateful looks when the managers told her that this position does need to report damaged fruit and packaging issues. At the end of the day, they moved me to another area. A much better one where I now do quality, too. And this woman can't help but glare at me every time she sees me. Wasn't I just doing what I was told? Just counting? Our next story is by Milled Oats. Hey, McDonald's employees, maliciously complying with my order? Thank you. This is a story of reverse malicious compliance, or maybe anti-malicious compliance. Backstory: I've always loved ketchup. I use a lot of ketchup on my hamburgers. When I eat in a McDonald's that has a ketchup pump, I unwrap my hamburger and pump a 1/4 cup of ketchup onto the wrapper and dip each bite of my burger so it's drenched in ketchup. Fast forward to today, where the best way to get McDonald's is to order in the app. As you can imagine, when I order my hamburger with the app, I always hit customize and select extra ketchup. Most of the time, the burger comes with an adequate amount of ketchup. It's more than a regular amount and is fine. Now cue what I imagine is malicious compliance. Sometimes when I order with my extra ketchup customization, I'll open the hamburger and it looks like someone was murdered. Picking it up results in the inside starting to slide out because there is so much ketchup on the burger. I think to myself, I bet this employee saw the extra ketchup customization and said, "You want extra? Here is extra, ha 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 ha." But boy, do I love it when that happens. I'm like, now this is the way a burger should be. Thanks for the malicious compliance, random McDonald's employees. I have a family member who asked for extra pickles with their burger once, and the McDonald's employees took like a handful. It had to be like 40 or 50 pickles, and they put that on the bun. She was thrilled because she loves pickles, but I mean, that would have been too many for me, but I don't mind pickles myself on my burger. Different strokes for different folks. Our last story today is by Platkus. I stake my reputation on the fact that we don't need any extra staff. Oh man, you can tell some business is going to be shorthanded here. Already, I'm predicting that. Years ago, I was a union delegate for a hospital that underwent expansion. More services, more beds, and extra operating theater, etc. Before the expansion opened, the usual fight between the unions and management started over staffing. We went in really well prepared, and management took it well, offering staffing we wanted. We had a final meeting with about 40 people in the room, HR, department heads, the various unions. We got to a department I will call ABC, and the department head said we don't need any extra staff except for nurses. I argued, you have more space and more beds, you need more cleaners, wardsmen, admin staff, etc. He fires back, I stake my reputation on it, we don't need any extra staff. I ask that the minutes record this specifically. A meeting is set down for 4 weeks after the hospital expansion opening. We let him have his way, knowing he wouldn't be successful. Guess whose department turned into a complete farce? Nothing terrible, just lots of little issues. At the next union meeting, again with all the people previously present, I read out the list of issues Department ABC has. I then read out all the last minutes with him stating they didn't need any extra staffing and that the department head has staked his reputation on it. I then asked the head of ABC to justify all this. He couldn't. I asked him, as he staked his reputation on this and the outcome have been poor, what does that mean? He gave no answer. I looked towards the CEO and said, you were here last time and buck stops with you. He agreed to review the situation urgently. The union placed the hospital into formal industrial dispute at the meeting over the lack of staffing in Department ABC. The next day, the CEO sends out an email stating after a brief conversation with the head of Department ABC, he has chosen to seek different career opportunities. So the guy was either let go or stepped down, basically fired from being the head of the department. How much do you want to bet that Department ABC, whatever department it happened to be at the hospital, was understaffed before all these changes went into place? I guarantee you that some of his underlings, if you asked them, were overworked and working overtime and everything. He was probably trying to pinch every penny he could. You degrade the quality of your department, especially at a hospital, but pretty much anywhere. If you're understaffing, it makes your employees less happy. So why would you do that? But in a hospital, you also have the patients to think about. They're less happy because they have to wait longer to see somebody. It's probably for the best that he stepped down or was let go. Our stories for today have come to a close. Until we meet again, have a remarkable day.